passivity, cooperativeness, expressiveness, modesty, humility, empathy, affection, tenderness, and being emotional, kind, helpful, devoted, and understanding. They have been cited as stereotypically feminine. जैसे कि आप सभी जानते हैं, मकान को घर बनाने में एक स्त्री का सबसे बड़ा योगदान होता है। सजना, संवरना और संवारना ये कलात्मक गुण महिलाओं में नैसर्गिक रूप से आते हैं, बाय बर्थ होते हैं. मराठीमध्ये याला आपण म्हणू उपजत बुद्धी असं म्हणतात. As per survey by a recent information on gender bias 21, 87% of the interior designers, they are female and 13% are male. Growing from childhood to girlhood and into womanhood, many of us forget or reject our true femininity, especially we gynecologists. The most underreported violence is intimate partner violence. Physical, it can be physical, sexual, or psychological. And that sexual violence and it causes serious short and long-term problems for the women. They also affect their children's health and well-being. The violence can lead to high social and economic costs for women, for the family, and for the society. Let's listen from Advocate Akshaya Kshirsagar, the young budding advocate, about the factors associated with intimate partner violence, about the risk factors they are associated with the intimate partner violence, about the consequences. I welcome Ms. Akshaya. Our third and with high TRP session is by multifaceted Parul. With her Chulbuli style, she is the star of emojis. Welcome, Parul. We have to opine. We have reputed senior psychiatrist, Madam Dr. Durga Bang, who can further throw light on this burning issue and how frequently she faces such patients. Welcome, Durga Bang. Yesterday, I had a chance to visit the house of Dr. Sheila Jain, and it was so tastefully done. I feel she's the right person to opine on this issue. Now I welcome the most important person of today. She's smart, smiling, extremely meticulous person, Madhuri. I welcome you all. Without you people, the CME won't be successful. I welcome all the respected senior NOGS members. Thank you so much. Over to you, Madhuri.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Without any delay, we are starting with the program. For this program, we have with us as a chairperson, Dr. Durga Bang. Unke naam mein hi Durga hai. So I think she's the best chairperson for both the talks in this Navratri. I would like to introduce her as a senior psychiatrist, consultant psychiatrist from Nagpur, ever smiling lady. I welcome you, ma'am, Durga ma'am. The second chairperson, we have Dr. Sheila Jain. She needs no introduction. She is associate professor at NKP SIMS and LMH. And also she is secretary NARCHI Nagpur 2021-22. And one more introduction, she is a best friend of mine. Welcome, Sheila ma'am.
Thank you.
We are starting with the first talk. We have with us Ms. Malani to present her topic on tips for interior. I would like to introduce her in short. She has done her B.Arch in 2008 and now has an experience of 13 years in this field. She works with renowned architectural firm of Nagpur such as Habib Khan and Associate, HR Malani and Associate, Ritu Chanekar and Associate. Additional academic excellences, she has done Vastu Shiromani degree from International Federation of Astrology and Spiritual Science, Chandigarh. And also she has done diploma in art therapy from ICPEM, registered under Niti Aayog, Government of India. She has membership of lot of association. In her CV, I like 3-4 lines she has written, and I would like to read those lines. in personal profile, she has written, I believe that life is all about living each day to the fullest. Hard work, commitment, passion, and a never say die attitude are my essence. These qualities are what I bring to the workplace and instill into the projects under my care, no matter how big or small. These words are very good, ma'am. So here I present before you Ms. Ruchita Malani for her talk on tips for interior. Ruchita ma'am, you can share your presentation slides.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. So our topic for today is interior design tips for the best first impressions. Let us first understand what is interior design. Interior designing is the combination of various aspects of architectural designing and latest interiors.
Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am. Can you make it in a slideshow?
Yeah, sure. Is it okay?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So what is interior design? Interior designing is a combination of various aspects of raw architectural design as well as latest interior design tips and trends, all with the ultimate goal of bringing out the best in the appearance of a setting. It can be designing for a home as well as an office, or it can be a space which is a commercial space or a restaurant, anything. Interior design industry has been loosely divided into two distinct categories. Domestic, which has been again divided into domestic is living and bedroom, kitchens, bathrooms, outdoors, lightings, etc. Commercial use is something of an office, hospitality, hotels and restaurants, and other places. Now, creating interesting interior designs that makes a good first impression on the guest is something that every homeowner wants, as it's nice feeling to hear the ahs and oohs from your guests as they admire your interior design. So let us start with the few ways to impress our guests with our interior design tips.
You are not audible, Ruchita?
Just a second, I had some issue. Just a second.
Okay.
Yeah. Is the screen visible?
Yeah, it's full screen, ma'am. You can go ahead.
Okay. So the first tip is hanging interesting pendant lights. Lighting can make or break the interior design of your house. If you want to impress your guest with thrilling home interiors, be sure to select a perfect lighting for your house. Pendant lights these days are very good choices for introducing into your home interiors. Make sure when you choose your interior pendant lights, they should be extraordinary, unusual in designs, and also they should trigger your visual focus once you enter to a space. Like you can see, I have shown some examples of dining table which are having pendant lights above it. The black one is in cane, and the second one is in glass. Like these are few examples we can. And the second point is adapt on open plan design. What do you mean by open plan design? It is a concept which describes to eliminate barriers such as walls and doors from your traditionally separated distinct functional spaces. Like we can combine kitchen, living room, dining, and make it into a big single sit-up area. which would give it a spacious look to your house. Like you can see here, the dining, kitchen, and living area is combined, which gives a very spacious look to the space, and it is being coordinated with colors as well as lights. This is another example of kitchen is combined with dining as well as living area, which makes the space look brighter as well as bigger. This is another example of the same. Another example of the same, which has a kitchen in the back side along with the dining combined with the kitchen as well as a living area, which is combined with this dining as well as kitchen. The third point is add some eye-catching shine to your space. Like, what do you mean by that? One of the most impeccable interior design idea that you can apply is to your home is adding eye-catchy shines such as crystals, accessories, bronze furniture, or decorative pieces made of brass or stainless steel. These impressive interior design ideas will leave your guest inspired and inspired the moment they step into your space. These are like a few examples, adding this crystal artifact, a shiny bowl-like artifact, adding crystal knobs, and putting a table which has a light above it, and this can enhance your space. And fourth point is decorate with plants. Plants are the great way to make your home stand out, whether outside or inside. If you want your interior design to stand out, decorate your homes with in the interior with plants. Maybe it can be large or can be small. Arrange a couple of plants in the hallway or place them into your living space. And plants don't cost much of amount to us. So this is a most budgeted friendly idea to enhance your space, like putting up small potted plants onto your center table, putting up some plants near to your sitting chair, near to your window, putting up high plants near to your sitting chair, and some hanging lamps along with some hanging plants, potted plants, enhances your space along with the interiors. Some plants onto your ledges behind your walls, sittings. Fifth point is dress up your walls. What does that mean? It means we can dress up our walls with wallpapers that have attractive and unusual patterns, maybe colors and designs. We can also opt for colorful designs that might turn your wall into beautiful artworks. Other options apart from wallpapers are some wall murals, which can be live wall murals, 3D artworks, and mirrors, adding mirrors to your space. And these days, very commonly used interior is a handmade hoop art. So let us see some examples of it. You see a sofa over here with a beautiful wallpaper behind it, and above it is having a pendant light which is hanged. So it gives a very impressive look to your interiors. On the other hand, if you see, there is a sofa and there are mirrors been placed on the wall, which gives the space a bigger visual impact. Yeah. Coming to this, along with the green chair on the back side of the wall, this is a live painting done by an artist. So these are in trend these days. We can add something. We can give like if you have a dead wall and if you want to elevate it into your home space now, the festives are coming, you can do some live murals on it. This is a 3D mural which is on the backdrop of a chair. Sixth point, elevate with white woodworks. Regardless of color that you have chosen for your interior design, consider elevating it with dazzling white woodwork. This interior design for homes offers a sweet contrast against brightly colored walls and wooden floor. It also provides a traditional edge to your interior design while making your home interiors look fresh and elegant. So you can also add something to your existing interiors, add some white colors, splash of white colors to your interiors. Next is considering going green. What does that mean? These days we see everyone is going green. What does that mean? Going green is picking up things which are environmentally friendly pieces for your space. Make your space stand out by incorporating sustainable and eco-friendly designs ideas, such as this is a light, pendant light or a hanging light. What you can say is that this is made out of cardboard pieces. So this is an environment friendly option for a lighting to be done. These are the furnitures which are easily available and doesn't require much of polishing and it can be maintained. So these are also even eco-friendly. If you see a ceiling in this slide, this is basically made in like what you say it as केन बास्केट्स जिनको बोलते हैं, वो केन बास्केट्स में बनाई हुई सीलिंग है. सो ये एक इको फ्रेंडली ऑप्शन है. इसके साथ में हमने साइड में कुछ लिनेन के कर्टन्स डाले हैं, फैब्रिक कर्टन्स है. On the on the right hand, there is also again some example of it. This is a living room which has raw wood places, raw wood tables, along with just a simple dari जिसको बोलते हैं दरी डाली हुई है instead of a carpet. So this is an eco-friendly option we can go in for our interiors. Another one is invest in your artworks. Art displays can help set the color palette of your interior design for home. Your guests will surely be in awe upon seeing these expensive pieces hanging on your wall. But if you're trying to create interior design of budget, you can shop at flea markets and bazaars for affordable and impressive art displays and decors. Some examples of art displays. These are done in macram. Macram is a thread, thick thread. So these days we are getting few good macram artworks made. This is again an handmade product. So you can put up some handmade products like this. This one is again, the middle one is again out of macram, and the one which has a horse on it, it is out of your old books. The books are just installed onto your wall and it has been painted with a horse. So it is an impressive idea to highlight your wall space. Adding some paintings like the gray one behind the console is also something which we can do to add up artwork. In the olden times, we used to buy few furnitures or art pieces which were like made into or carved into wood. So these are also the options which we can highlight into your in the interior space. Choosing color that inspire. Remember that your color choice can make or break your interior design. Be careful with blending of your colors in the interior decoration. Colors that bring you calm and balance are great for bathrooms and bedrooms, typical spaces used for relaxations. Vibrant, energizing hues are incorporated in kitchens and dining room spaces that are vibrant and used for socializing. Instead of keeping your interiors monotonous, we can opt for adding splash of colors to it. So in this living room, if we see, the sofa is something teal blue, and the fabric for the curtain is ochre color, and the rest of the interiors is beige color. So the fabric of the curtain as well as the color of the sofa adds enhances your interiors. It doesn't keep the interiors monotonous and boring. And this is also some example, like if you have a white interiors completely at your space, you can add a wall painting behind it with beautiful colors, or you can just put some colorful cushions to enhance the space or to decorate it. And we can also do one thing, you can also put some colorful carpets for to enhance your space. So adding color to your space would make your space look different. Installing hardwood floorings. A hardy way to wow your guests is by installing stylish and sleek hardwood flooring, boosting the rare wood in your home interiors. You may need to hire a professional contractor for installation of the flooring, but this interior design add-on is worth the investment. The impact of this classical flooring style is not only gorgeous but is certain to increase the value of your home. Be it a space for your living room, or be it a space for your bedroom, you can add wooden floorings to the space, and this would give a different look to your interior space. So these are few examples of wooden floorings added to the space. See, the left side of a picture on the screen is living room, which is a very modern contemporary living room, but it is enhanced with the flooring, dark wooden flooring, and a wooden table in the center. On the right side, if we see, it's a bedroom which has wooden panelings along with wooden floorings, but the bed is kept very simple. So we can enhance the space as per additions of a flooring which is in wood, instead of going for marbles or tiles. We can do that also. Arrange attractive chairs near to your entrance. Having pretty sittings near to your entrance door serves a double purpose. Aside from wowing your guest, you can also use the chair while putting your shoes on and taking them off. You can have a couple of stylish chairs in a complete complementary color style and a console on the side of it. And you can also place beautiful couch or bench. So, in most of our Indian homes, we see we have a shoe closet near to our entrance, but we do not see, is there a sitting place near to it, or is there a attractive chair near to it? So you can add on a chair or a beautiful design sitting. So it can be used for even sitting as well as enhancing the space of your home. Last but not the least, I'll say, fill up the space with signature fragrance. Take note from hotel styles and give your home a signature scent. It's incredible how much this can transfer your home. Luxury hotels select a key scent to have throughout, which then becomes associated with the place. Adapt this by choosing it for your homes. There's no place like home, So ensure all your senses are alerted to the feeling of home the minute you step through your door. Use the best home fragrance via scented candles, diffusers, and essential oils. So these are few examples how you can place your scented candles or diffusers at your home space to bring in fragrance into your space. Like placing a um, candle beside onto your table along with the diffuser. Some arrangement on a table with a vase in it and the candles lit on there. Some fresh flowers also do add to the fragrance of the house. Some artifacts in glass along with some fragrance placed inside them. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It was indeed a beautiful presentation. Beautiful, actually. I think all women who will not like it to have to decorate home like this. So very important tips. And if you can see in my background, I have followed it in my clinic. The photographs I clicked of birds, I made a collage of it for the wall. So very important message and tips you have given to all of us. Those many of us might be thinking now to renovate their house. Again, any questions?
We will take at the end. Questions will be taken at the end. Madhuri?
Okay, ma'am. Shall we start with the second talk? Thank you, Ruchita, ma'am.
Dr. Sheila, want to add something? Let her add. If you
No,
want.
no, it was a really beautiful talk. I was really engrossed in it, and really beautiful journey you took us into, Ruchita.
Thank you.
Personally, I feel every one of us should put their ideas in the chat box and let's enjoy those chat box messages. That
Right,
what has been, what are everyone's idea? सबकी idea अलग-अलग होगी ना? Okay, how you within few minutes how you change your look of your living room. That can be the topic.
Durga ma'am, do you want to add something?
Oh, no, nothing. It is a very good presentation. Nice to see.
Thank you, ma'am.
Read to the eyes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Very nice.
Different from our topic, routine topics.
Yes, very difficult, and therefore it was very nice.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ruchita ma'am. Now we move ahead with the second talk. The next talk is on intimate partner violence by none other than Akshaya Shirsagar. I would like to read her CV in short. She is advocate Bombay High Court Nagpur bench. She is practicing in the field of criminal law for the past 6 years in the Nagpur High Court, handled various cases surrounding POCSO, rape, domestic violence. She has completed law graduation from Ferguson Law College, Pune. She is Nagpur University merit holder in LLM in criminal law. She has also done a diploma in forensic science and medical jurisprudence from Symbiosis, Pune. She has volunteered for Human Rights Law Defenders, Pune. She is working as operations lead for Break Free Foundation as NGO who works for educational upliftment of underprivileged children from rural areas through digitally aided development programs. She has a teaching experience in cyber law in Central India College of Law, Nagpur, and she's on the panel of expert of WCL Nagpur for conducting employee training workshop on Right to Information Act. With this, I present before you Mrs. Akshaya Shirsagar for her talk on intimate partner violence.
Thank you, Madhuri ma'am. Hello, everyone. Happy Navratri to all the dignitaries present here. I am actually humbled by the presence of such senior faculty, and it is my privilege to be presenting in front of you. I haven't prepared a PowerPoint presentation, but I will be speaking on the important aspects of intimate partner violence, the legal framework surrounding it, and what are the repercussions of such violence on the development of women in India. So let's start. I would just wish to take an anecdote from Ruchira ma'am's presentation, that all of us here feel that our homes are a safe haven for women, especially because we are the ones who spend most of the time decorating and investing in our household, in our families. And for that, we feel that for every woman, apart from anything else, their homes are what gives them the sense of security and safety from all the evils present in the society. But for a moment, can we all think that what if this same safe haven turns out to be a place of hell for a lot of women? As has been pointed out by Alka ma'am, 87% of women in India are subjected to intimate partner violence or domestic violence, as we reframe it in the Indian context. So what exactly is intimate partner violence? When we take the term into consideration, it is aggression that takes place in a relationship, whether marital or otherwise. Now, when one that takes place in a marital relationship, we have given it a term of marital rape, although the same has not been recognized under the Indian laws. This is also an aggravated form of gender violence, being subjected mainly and specifically towards the female gender in the continent of India. Now, we would wonder what are the types of intimate partner violence, because when we think about violence, the first thing that comes into mind is physical violence or sexual violence, right? But there are quite a few types of violence that exist and which have long-term severe effects on the mental and physical health of women. First being physical. What comes under physical violence is any bodily pain, harm, danger to life and limb. It includes assault, criminal intimidation, and criminal force used against a woman. Second being verbal or emotional abuse. This kind of abuse involves insults, humiliation, name calling, ridiculing, or insulting for not having a child or not bearing a male child for that matter. Third being economic violence. This means deprivation of economic and financial resources to a woman, deprivation of providing basic household necessities, deprivation of stridan, movable, immovable property, and other financial and valuable resources. Next being sexual assault or sexual violence, which we all are familiar in some way or the other, because we hear about it every day for that matter. Sexual violence is any conduct of such sexual nature that abuses, humiliates, and degrades or violates the dignity of a woman. Now, I can understand that a lot of you must be wondering that why should we relate dignity of a woman to her sexual maturity or sexual independence? That is because women are the only source of reproduction and recreation. They are the creators of this world. Yesterday, we celebrated goddess Skandamata. Yesterday we celebrated goddess Kushmanda, who is known to be the creator of the universe. It is believed that it is through her that the whole world was created, right? So that's why we associate our dignity towards our sexual orientation, sexual health, and our right and privilege for reproduction. Now, when it comes to the intimate partner violence, in law, under Indian law, what we do realize is we reframe intimate violence as domestic violence. Now, there are a lot of forms of domestic violence. Now, if I can just read out a basic definition of domestic violence, which has been given under the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005. Herein, what has been defined is what constitutes as domestic violence, or what will constitute as violence, right? So any harm or injury or damage to the health, safety, or safety of life, limb, or well-being, whether physical or mental, of the women, or tends to do so, includes physical abuse, sexual abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse, and economic abuse. Or now this domestic violence also extends towards the relatives of the women, because a lot of times what happens is, because the relatives or the parents of the women, married women, are threatened of dire consequences if they don't pay dowry, if they don't give in to their demands, then that is a kind of mental abuse that the married women has to go through. This also, of course, Domestic Violence Act does not only apply to married women. It also applies to women who are in live-in relationships, or relationships which can be said to be in the nature of a marriage. Okay. Now, what this act does is, it has given a very major power to the magistrate, to a magistrate who has the power to grant a protection order to ensure that the abuser does not come in contact with the survivor. Now, yes, here we do not call a woman a victim. We do not call her a victim. She's not a victim. She's a survivor, because she has survived this violence. She has survived all the humiliation and come out as a tough person and as an example of strength towards other women. Another legislation which deals with domestic violence is the Dowry Prohibition Act. Now, we all are aware that the demand for dowry is also a form of domestic violence, because it comes under mental assault. A woman or her family are constantly humiliated, ridiculed, and harassed on the basis of for the demand of dowry, which is an offense under the Dowry Prohibition Act. Another provision that deals with sexual assault or harassment of women in general is Section 498 of the Indian Penal Code. 498A deals with cruelty meted out to a woman by her husband or the relatives of the husband. Now, here, the provision which has been made to include the relatives of the husband is a very important one, because when we think about violence committed in a relationship, that relationship in our Indian context is not limited between the husband and wife alone. It also includes the families of both the spouses, and they have a greater role to play in influencing the spouses and influencing the spouses to commit violence against the other spouse. Another aspect is, unfortunately, India is also among the only 36 countries in the world to not recognize or not criminalize marital rape. Unfortunately, under Section 375 of IPC, although rape, what constitutes rape has been defined, there is an exception given, which categorically excludes any women or any wife above the age of 15 years from reporting a case of marital rape. What happens is, any bride or any woman under the age of 15 is considered to have not given sexual consent, because she is a minor in the context of the Prevention of Sexual Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act as well. So therefore, the upper age limit of non-consensual sexual assault is 15. Anyone above the age of 15, any husband who commits unwilling sexual intercourse with her husband, his wife, is not considered rape, and as such marital rape. Now, first and foremost, what comes into mind is the issue of Article 14. We all know that Article 14 talks about equality. We all, irrespective of our genders, are equal before the law, and we have equal protection granted by law. Now, what happens is why domestic violence and why intimate partner violence comes under the Article 14 is that because this law, Domestic Violence Act, and the other laws create two classes of women. It immunizes the women who are outside the arenas of marital relationship, and it also bestows the wrath of the violence and no remedy against the women who are in a marital relationship. There is a case, there is a famous case actually, Justice K.S. Puttaswamy, retired, versus Union of India, wherein the issue of privacy and the issue of right to privacy was considered. Therein, it was observed that decisional privacy reflected by an ability to make intimate decisions, primarily consisting of one's sexual or procreative nature and decisions in respect of intimate relations. This simply means that if one has to consider the right to privacy, one has to take into consideration a woman's right to engage or not to engage in a sexual relationship, either with her husband or any man she is in a relationship, irrespective of being married or not. What happens is our Indian law has recognized this concept of implied consent. It means that once you get married, you have given your implied consent to engage in sexual activities, irrespective of your consent or not. Even if your husband is subjecting you to such a high intensity of sexual abuse that it impacts your physical and mental health, you have no alternative. You can't go to the court, you can't claim rape, because you are in a marital relationship. So of course, if you're आप अगर शादी की है तो आपने इसको consent दिया है ना, because वो तो आपका husband है and he has a right. No, he doesn't. Whatever right there is available, it is to the women. It is the women who decide whether they want to engage in sexual intercourse, whether they want to engage in any activities of sexual nature, irrespective of their marital status. Now, another, if we go into the statistics of this whole issue, it is very, very alarming and very disturbing at the same time that 1 out of 3 women in India have been subjected to some form of sexual violence at some point of their life. This is why this is alarming, because if we take into consideration, there are cases where a girl is subjected to sexual abuse and sexual assault right from when she is a child. That sexual abuse continues through her adulthood and after she has been married also. Now, what a normal women like you and me would consider is that after we get married, we will get a security. Our husband will be the person who will safeguard us from all the evils that are present in the society. What we do not imagine is that he will become the evil and he will be the one who would be exploiting us sexually in the name of marriage. Another thing is that more than 2/3. Now, when we take into consideration women in the age group of 15 to 49, 2/3 of married women in India in this age group have been beaten or forced to provide sex, regardless of their socioeconomic positions. Now, sexual abuse or intimate partner violence has nothing to do with your social and economic background. You can be from a very high class elite society, belonging to a very highly educated family, married into a very highly educated and liberal family. But that does not justify, or that does not stop, or that does not cancel out the possibility of there being marital sexual assault or intimate partner violence in that relationship. Now, of course, there is an upper hand to women belonging to urban areas because they are more educated, they are aware of their rights, and somewhere or the other, they are capable of asking for help and support when it comes to such violence. But what happens to the women in rural areas? They have no idea. They are less educated or not educated at all. For them, going to the police is not a recourse, because that may lead to danger to their own life and the life of their relatives, their children, anyone related to them. So therefore, most of the uh, violence which actually takes place, it is unreported. I'm so sorry, that's my dog. I'm very sorry. Another is 1 in 5 men have forced their wives or their partner to have sex. This is according to the International Men and Gender Equality Survey 2011. Now, over 114 countries in the world have criminalized marital rape. Do you know who all hasn't? India, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, and China. Yes, we have stooped down to that level. Actually, we haven't even stood up from that level. This has been going on from ages. Of course, at that time, it was not, the concept was not in existence, what it was, what it wasn't. Now that it has come to the fore, now that people are becoming more and more aware about the laws revolving sexual violence in intimate partner relationships, it is being observed that we actually direly need a legislation which would address this and punish those who engage in such activities. Now, we are aware about these laws. We have become aware about the laws. We have become aware of the statistics. What about the procedure to report? बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि लेडी, एक औरत को घर से बाहर निकलने के लिए भी परमिशन नहीं रहती है. So how would they report in such cases, right? Of course, जो निकल पा रही है या जो निकल पाएगी, जो निकल सकती है, वो हमेशा वो ऑफ कोर्स कभी भी अपने आजू बाजू के एनजीओस को, अपने नेबर्स को इत्तला कर सकती है कि मेरे साथ ऐसा हो रहा है या मेरी मदद कीजिए, क्या प्रोसीजर है, मुझे रिपोर्ट करना है, मुझे कंप्लेंट करनी है, मुझे प्लीज मदद कीजिए. अगर आप ऐसे सिचुएशन में हैं जब आप घर से बाहर नहीं निकल पा रहे हैं, पर आपके पास टेलीफोन या कोई भी फोन की फैसिलिटी है, तो बहुत सारे हेल्पलाइंस है जो नेशनल कमीशन फॉर वुमेन है. ये बहुत बड़ा एनजीओ है जो काम करता है विमेन अपलिफ्टमेंट and who gives support to women, battered women. Actually, that is what the term which is being used is, battered women. They give support, medical, legal, any support that you need. They actually provide assistance in filing of complaints and reporting of cases of violence. Now, how would we how will we ensure that no such violence takes place? Of course, there is no foolproof plan. There's no 100% guarantee that such acts would not be committed. But what is the least that we can do? The least we can do is educate the girl child. Take benefits of all the education policies that have been specifically stipulated for the education of girl child. Encourage your maids, encourage other staff to send their girls to a municipal school to ensure that they learn that, because as we know, education is empowerment. When we are educated, we become empowered, we become aware of the circumstances around us. It gives us a voice, it gives us strength. Second being, legal literacy camps can be taken and organized in every rural area, where workshops may be conducted. Basic education and basic awareness of legal framework can be given to both genders. Yes. Now, intimate partner violence is not limited to only women. There have been 1 in 10 men have suffered violence at the hands of their female partner or wife. But of course, that statistics is way lower than what the statistics for women violence are. Another important aspect being the obligations of the government with regards to this issue. There are a lot of schemes and guidelines that are in force at present for ensuring the safety and security of women. But where's the implementation? Where are the authorities which are making sure that these schemes and these guidelines are being implemented? We need stricter guidelines. We need stricter punishments. We need stringent guidelines for reporting. Because for example, we can take the example of this lockdown. In these 4 phases of lockdown that India was, 1,477 married women have made domestic violence complaints, which is higher than the recorded complaints of this nature in a span of 10 years. You can see the severity. The complaints which were recorded in a span of 1.5 years, they are way higher than the complaints which were recorded in a period of 10 years. Now, also 86% of women do not even report such cases. Why? Why don't they report? Because they don't have the strength, they don't have the resources. They are economically dependent on their husbands, on their in-laws for going for any, even basic, for buying basic household amenities. They do not have the freedom to even choose or make a living on their own. First and foremost, therefore, I feel is that economic independence, education, basic education, gender empowerment, and gender equality are some of the basic, and what we can say, this is where we can start from to cope with and tackle with the problem of intimate partner violence. To end with it, I would just like to quote one paragraph, one small idiom or phrase, if you can say. Each time a woman stands up for herself without knowing it, possibly without claiming it, she stands up for all women. Therefore, stand up for your rights, stand up for what's wrong, what's right, and then inspire other women to do so. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. It was really an eye-opening talk. And really, we could feel the misery of women who face this intimate partner violence. And the data you quoted is really alarming. Durga, ma'am, you want to add something? Being a psychiatrist, you must be facing a lot of cases like.
Yes, definitely. There is lot of violence in this thing, and in this violence, there are many psychological things which are adding. First is the addiction. When patient is or a person is under influence, the rate of violence increases. So that you should consider. Then second, there are the many different personalities, and the specific is the paranoid personality or delusional delusions are there. So person is feeling some paranoia, or he is having some suspecting his wife's character, and then there is sexual violence or physical violence is there. Third thing, apart from this physical violence, there are many emotional violences there. And that causes long-term psychiatric effects. Emotional violence with the partner. They are simply by not talking to them or not giving any finance to them or depriving very small thing, not giving recognition. And that causes long-term psychiatric effect in the person, like depression, anxiety, and she is losing her self-esteem. And that again causes a lot of personality disturbances in that. So again, is the basic is the empowerment of the woman is must. So we should work for the empowerment of woman. And if there are any diseases like that, then they should approach to a psychiatrist, because very few people are approaching to the psychiatrist to evaluate the person, or it may be wrong if there may be both persons may be wrong, both partners may be wrong. There may be some diseases in both partners or in personality, both of them. But for that, they should come to the psychologist or psychiatrist. No, there are many NGOs where there are counselors are there who are counseling to the both the partners, and that definitely helps. So I think that is that is.
Yeah, as you said, ma'am, these alcohol is also responsible, addictions are responsible for this with, and along with this paranoid personality. One more thing I
Yes.
just want to ask, whether the hypersexuality disorder in male
Yes.
will also lead to such type of violence?
Yes. Definitely.
The data this lockdown, the Akshay madam has quoted was really alarming about this. In lockdown, in the span of 1 year, how many cases of this intimate partner violence you notice? So really, it is
Yeah.
it's heartening.
Yes, there are very other factors also, na? Where many person lost their jobs. Yeah.
आणि सगळा स्ट्रेस घरच्या लेडीवर निघतो, हा एक प्रकार असतो नेहमी.
Of course, of course.
Huh.
It is
That
a
is
cumulative
always-
effect. Of
Yes.
course.
Yeah,
It is a
yeah,
cumulative
yes,
effect.
And the
She
second
is-
most important thing is that in the marital relationship in lower economic status,
Yes, yes.
it is very much accepted. अरे
Yes,
आदमी
exactly.
पीता है कुछ नहीं मैडम, कभी कभी तो हो जाता है, उसमें क्या है? It
Exactly.
is accepted. It is a routine for them.
Sheila ma'am, you want to add?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that we talk of gender empowerment and gender equality. What I think is essential is equal respect for the women. So right from beginning, we need to teach everyone that we need to respect. It's not only empowerment, but respect, which is what we desire from everyone. And not only men, even women are responsible for violence against women, for provoking violence against women. And the other thing that I want to point out, I do know, like you said, education is definitely education is very important. But see, what I'm sharing my experience. We read civics for so many years in school. Never we were taught about the real rights, what domestic violence is. So whether now has it been included in the syllabus, I don't think so. So the girls are reading, yes, the boys are reading, but they should know all these things. So the practical things need to be included right from the younger age. So it should be, from all, from every aspect, we should try to take care of these things.
Yes, yes.
As such, I don't have much experience, but this is what I think should be done.
Yes.
Right from beginning, they have to be taught to respect, and
Definitely.
Yeah.
we do teach them. But like Durga Madam said, that there are different personalities, and we need to recognize those personalities.
Yes.
So if
If I
we
may
really
add
want
one
to
small
empower,
thing. Yes.
yeah, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Please complete. Then I'll.
No, it's just that if we want to empower them, we have to make them aware. And from where do we? Because they will not read the newspapers and
Yes.
try to. The things are so difficult to understand. These the language in the law is difficult to
Difficult.
understand. So it has to be made very clear right from the beginning.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's what. That's
Definitely,
all I
definitely.
wanted to add.
Ma'am, with respect of respect, that we should be equally respected. I feel somewhere most of us do not respect ourselves in the first place. And therefore, the moment we start respecting our dignity, the moment we start respecting our life, our rights, that's the moment when others will also respect us. This also applies to other women, that we as women should also respect each other. Above and all, before anyone else, we as women should respect each other.
Yeah, rightly said, ma'am.
Very true.
Actually,
Very true.
very true. And आपला जो स्वाभिमान असतो, सेल्फ रिस्पेक्ट आपण म्हणतो, आय कुडंट रेजिस्ट टू रीड माय वन पोएम, जे मला खूप आवडते. आणि जेव्हा मी म्हणजे आपल्याला पण असे इन्सिडेन्सेस होता वेन यू फील लो, आणि मी माझी ही कविता वाचते आणि देन आय फील मोटिवेटेड. जो सेल्फ रिस्पेक्ट किंवा स्वाभिमान म्हणतो तो परत येतो. मी पारुलचे फक्त 2 मिनिटं घेईल त्याच्या आधी एक कविता वाचते. मला
Ma'am, we are more than happy to hear your poem. I'm waiting to hear that.
थँक्यू पारुल. नाव कवितेचं नाव आहे मानिनी. मानिनी म्हणजे मानानी राहणारी, स्वाभिमानी. आता कदाचित माझा या कवितेमध्ये टोन थोडा चेंज होईल. होऊ देत आघात किती, होऊ देत आघात किती या अनायास अपमान, होऊ देत आघात किती या अनायास अपमान, घ्या परख स्वत्वाची, घ्या परख स्वत्वाची या तोडा स्वाभिमान, तीन हरणार तीन खचणार तीन तुटणार नाही कोलमडणार, तीन हरणार तीन खचणार तीन तुटणार नाही कोलमडणार. सुमनाहुनी कोमल जरीती, सुमनाहुनी कोमल जरीती पाण्याहुनी नितळ जरीती, सुमनाहुनी कोमल जरीती पाण्याहुनी नितळ जरीती, मधुरसाहून मधुर जरीती, मोर पिसाहून मऊ जरीती, आहे चंचलती वाऱ्यासम, आहे चंचलती वाऱ्यासम, प्रखरती अग्निसम, प्रखरती अग्निसम, कठोरती वज्रासम, अनतेजती खड्गासम. तीन संपणार ती ना मागे सरणार, ना हतबल होणार ना शरणागत होणार, तीन संपणार तीन तुटणार तीन खचणार नाही कोलमडणार. नको तती जला स्तुती सुमने खोटी, नको तती जला स्तुती सुमने खोटी, ना सामर्थ्याचा वास, नको तती जला स्तुती सुमने खोटी, ना सामर्थ्याचा वास, ना सत्तेचा आभास, ना शुष्क बाहुपाश.
इतना कम हो गया था कि 200 का भाव है तो भी कम लग रहा है.
राहू देत तिचा स्वाभिमान अबाधित, राहू देत तिचा स्वाभिमान अबाधित, आणि स्वातंत्र्य कुमार वैदेही नाही आता ती, वैदेही नाही आता ती, ती तर शक्तीचा अवतार. तीन हरणार तीन खचणार तीन तुटणार नाही कोलमडणार, तीन हरणार तीन खचणार तीन तुटणार नाही कोलमडणार. आय थिंक मला असं वाटलं
खूप छान.
म्हणजे
Very nice,
कितीही
ma'am.
आघात सेल्फ रिस्पेक्ट आपला ठेवायचंच आहे, वेदर इट इज इमोशनल व्हायलन्स एज मॅडमनी म्हटलंय की अलॉंग विथ दिस फिजिकल इमोशनल व्हायलन्स पण भरपूर होतं, वेदर इट इज अ इंटिमेट पार्टनर और the other people we came across. So as Akshaya madam has said that self respect आणि आपला स्वाभिमान जपून ठेवणं खूप गरजेचं आहे. So thank you for very impressive and eye opening talk. Now can we move ahead? Now I hand over a mic to Chulbuli Parul, as madam says, for next question answer session or quiz on Navratri.
Thank you, Madhuri ma'am. Your poem was really something. I am not a person who understands a lot of Marathi, but to me also it was very pleasing. And both the talks were amazing. They were really an eye-opener. Coming on to the fun part of it, we have had a lot of things which told us ये करना चाहिए, ऐसा करना चाहिए. But अब थोड़ा सा fun part पे आते हैं, because it's me conducting this session here. So fun is an integral part of it. So what are we going to be doing today is, it's a Navratri quiz. All I ask you people to have is a pen and a paper. We'll be doing 5 fastest finger first. And apart from that, 10 questions, and whosoever answers that 10 questions first is going to be a winner. So in total, we'll be having 15 questions. I'll repeat it again. We'll have 5 fastest finger first. So you can just, as I finish with the question, you can just raise your hand and speak up the answer. That's the first thing. And the second part would be 10 questions, and whosoever answers those 10 questions correctly and the earliest is going to be a winner. Okay? So
Actually, to raise the hands, everyone's video has to be on, I think. Is it? How do
I think they can, just post it in the chat box also, and then I can just ask their names.
Okay,
that can also
fine,
be done.
fine.
But I would request that we can see all the beautiful faces. All of us are sitting in OPDs or at homes. That's okay. Look at me. I'm also as horribly dressed right now. With all my
actually,
hair
you were not there, Parul. In the beginning only, I said one poem, every woman is beautiful, whatever she is.
Yes, ma'am, I heard that one also.
So we all are beautiful.
Absolutely. So all of us are ready for this quiz?
Yes.
Okay. So fastest finger first question. which is the dance which is done before the Aarti of goddess Durga? Which is the dance which is done before the Aarti?
Garba.
I asked you to raise hands because it's very difficult for me to just figure out who is answering.
I raise my hand, Parul, Garba. Pradnya here.
Pradnya ma'am. Yes ma'am, that's the right answer.
Okay.
Who is goddess of benevolence? Out of these 9 goddesses which we worship, who is the goddess of benevolence?
What is benevolence?
Come on, buck up. I expect you all to be knowing it.
We all are.
Yamini ma'am, just a try.
He
I
said
don't
we all
know
are.
the names of the goddesses, but I think we are all.
We are goddesses of everything. But I'm
We are all.
asking something specific here.
Yesterday, whosoever listened to carefully would answer.
Yes,
No.
actually.
Right?
Neeta, tu
Rudra ma'am,
aap
aap batao. Take a wild guess. It's not that difficult. It's pretty easy. It's supposed to be fastest finger first. So I expect 2-3 people to be fighting ki meko aata hai.
I know. Parvati.
Yeah, Ruchita ma'am, tell me.
Parvati.
Parvati.
Yeah, Gauri Mata and Parvati is the same. Yes,
Yeah.
that's the right answer.
Good. Very good.
Okay. So the third one. Garba is the dance of which state?
Gujarat.
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 Everybody would say.
I
Okay,
think
Yamini
this
ma'am.
should be given to everyone. This point should be given to everyone.
Yamini ma'am was the first one to raise her hand.
Absolutely.
So Yamini ma'am gets this one.
Okay, thank
Oh,
you.
I also raised my hand and
A lot of people
Gujarat.
raise their hands.
Raising
Every
hand
time.
is not important. Only raising hand is not important.
Everybody
Raising the hand
know.
first is important. So
Yeah,
it was
we all
Yamini
said
ma'am.
Gujarat. You're
Thank you,
partial.
Parul. Thank you.
Everyone said it.
No, Parul is
We
being
did not even
partial.
listen to the whole question, and everyone said everyone raised their
Yeah,
hand.
I waited.
absolutely.
I waited to say the state.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
de diya.
Okay. Doesn't matter. I'll give it to Mrudal ma'am and Yamini ma'am both. Both of are my favorite senior teachers here. So I'll give it to both of them.
Thank you.
Okay. Who is goddess of wealth?
Lakshmi. Lakshmi.
Lakshmi is
Okay.
sitting here.
Shantala ma'am gets it here.
Lakshmi. Mahalakshmi.
Shantala ma'am gets it here.
Mahalakshmi.
Yes. The answer is correct, and Shantala ma'am gets for this one.
Good.
Okay, the
Shantala.
last fastest finger first. Who is the goddess of? यामिनी मैम ने कंटिन्यूअसली एक हैंड रेज करके रख दिया
नहीं नहीं अरे वो बंद नहीं हुआ है सॉरी हाँ
ओके हु इज द गॉडेस ऑफ विजडम
Saraswati.
Saraswati.
yes so Madhuri ma'am gets it for
Saraswati.
this one she was the first one to answer for this
I was the first one to answer, clear. Pradnya.
I raised my hand.
You're
but I
supposed to
haven't
raise your hand
answered
and
it.
then
Doesn't
answer
matter. All of
that
us.
is when I can
अरे
come
तो
to
हम
know because voice
दिखा
is
नहीं
coming
आपको
Parul,
Parul is
I
being
just
ragged so
raised
much.
hand, but Yamini ma'am answered it, I think.
No. I
I
think
was-
Parul is being ragged too much.
and people are taking undue advantage of me being so sweet to all of you
I know. You stick to your guns.
okay
I am the judge I am the supreme authority for today at
Yes.
least so I will
Good.
decide so it is
Yes.
Madhuri ma'am for now
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So this is first part of it, and I'm really proud that all of us know a lot about it. So now it is the difficult part. All of you, please have a pen and paper. I would expect no cheating. It doesn't really make any difference. It's just a fun game. I'll just say 10 questions, and whosoever writes the 10 answers the first, can let me know by saying yes. Don't answer anything right now. I do not expect you to answer anything. Just say yes, and then we'll tally the answers. Is that okay?
Yes, fine.
Okay.
That's better.
Fine. Okay. Which place of Karnataka is famous for its elephant processions on the occasion of Dashera? I repeat.
Yeah.
You don't have to raise your hands. 10 questions ke baad, you have to raise your hand when you're done, when you know all the 10 questions. So not after every question, we are done with fastest finger first. Okay. So which place of Karnataka is famous for its elephant processions on the occasion of Dashera? That was my first question. The second one, which state celebrates Boma Kolu? Which states celebrates Boma Kolu? That is the display of dolls during Navratri. In which place, the third question, in which place the main temple of Durga Ji is located in Srinagar?
You mean the locality?
श्रीनगर में मैम कौन सी जगह पे वो टेम्पल का लोकेशन है? So whatever you know the answer, write it down. We can think about whether it is right or not later.
Okay.
Okay. The fourth question, in which state Durga Ma is dressed in different clothes on each day of Navratri? My fifth question, which is the second largest temple in Asia based on goddess Durga? Do you want me to repeat this one? Which is the second largest temple in Asia based on goddess Durga? Navratras are dependent on which calendar, which keeps on changing every year? So the dates of Navratras are decided based on which calendar?
Hindu.
I expect you to not answer and keep it to yourself, and we will see how much the answers are right or wrong and who gets this one. Okay. The seventh question is, which is the goddess which is celebrated or which is worshipped on first 3 days of Navratri? The next one is, which is the goddess which is celebrated or worshipped in the last 3 days of Navratri? My eighth question is, which goddess is celebrated or worshipped in the last 3 days of Navratri? Dashera marks the victory of which goddess?
Goddess.
And what is the significance? Last question, this is the last one. What is the significance of Durga Puja? Who wants to answer the first?
परुल बहुत ही कठिन प्रोग्राम क्वेश्चन पेपर था रे।
फास्टेस्ट फिंगर फर्स्ट मैंने इतने इजी रखे थे।
हाँ लेकिन ये तो बहुत ही कठिन कर दिया है।
इसलिए पिन ड्रॉप साइलेंस था एकदम।
4 ऑप्शंस देने थे पारुल।
मैम यहाँ पे
को
बहुत
एमसीक्यू
कंफ्यूजन हो
की
जाता था।
आदत है,
केबीसी नहीं कर
एमसीक्यू
सकते
की
यहाँ
आदत
पे।
है।
शांतला बोल रही शायद फर्स्ट।
Yeah. Can I try? Can I
Yes,
try?
Shantala ma'am.
Yes.
You can try.
So the answer to the first one is Mysore, the
Yeah,
elephant
that is
procession
right.
during
Yeah.
Durga.
Absolutely right.
The dolls are actually celebrated in 2 states, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. So I don't know
Both
which
are
one
right.
you were talking about.
Both are
that
right.
What was the third one?
The
The Srinagar one.
Srinagar ka temple. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, Durga. I've written Durga temple in Srinagar. I don't know the name of the temple.
Place.
Place. Okay.
Okay, you don't know the third one. Okay.
Yeah, the third one maybe is not correct. The fourth one, I think I've written Gujarat. I don't remember the question, what it was.
Katra.
Okay,
Acha,
we'll
Katra,
discuss that later. Because there's somebody else who can be a winner. Shantala ma'am has not
Yeah.
given the answer
Katra.
rightly to the third one.
Katra.
Fourth.
Okay. Fourth, I've written Gujarat.
That's wrong.
Bengal.
Karnataka.
We're not discussing that, please. We want somebody to win, yeah. Don't do that.
Inshallah, you will lose the race. Keep quiet.
Yeah, maybe. Fifth one, I've written Karnataka, though I don't know the exact place. I think the second largest Durga temple in Asia. That was the question.
No, it is not the place. It's the name of the temple which I had asked. So this is
Okay,
also
I've
not
written-
right.
Okay,
Is
I
it
thought it was a
Kamakya
state.
temple in Nepal?
I am not answering the answer, please.
Oh.
We are yet to wait. There's so many people who have done these answers. Please let someone win. Okay.
Parul,
So the-
KBC कैसा करना था? You should have given options. Questions are very difficult.
Yeah, I know.
ठीक है,
Okay,
ठीक है, चलो।
doesn't matter. Tomorrow it would be
Cancel.
easy. Doesn't matter. Chalo,
Sixth
calendar
one,
batao.
sixth one is the Panchang or the Hindu calendar.
No, the answer is not right.
Okay, fine. Seventh one is Ma Chandra Durga.
Okay.
I got a lot of wrong answers, I think. Eighth one is Saraswati, the last 3 days of.
Yeah. Yes.
And what was the ninth one? The
Dashera
Dashera.
marks the victory of which goddess?
Goddess Durga.
Kali.
Yeah.
And the
That's
10th one is
right.
victory of the good over the evil. Dashera means the victory
Yes.
of good over the evil. So how many did I
That is
get right?
right, but Dashera in context to Navratri, what is the significance? You are telling me something which is related to Ram and all those things, but we're talking about goddesses here. So if you could it is right ki, evil over good and all those things, but if you can answer in terms of
The victory
goddesses,
of,
if at all.
feminine power, feminine power over.
I love you, Shantala
evil.
ma'am. This is very much what we express, but I want to know the name of the goddess over what. Okay,
You
doesn't
wanted the
matter.
name of-
So you have got 6 on 10 correct.
Not bad.
That's a
Very good.
fairly good try. When I
First
myself
class.
attempted, I got 5 on 10. So I thought कि हाँ कर सकते हैं ये लोग जवाब तो दे ही देंगे कुछ ना कुछ. Okay, who else wants to take an attempt?
Trishala wanted to say, no?
Yeah, Trishula ma'am. Is Trishula ma'am there?
Yeah. In Srinagar, it is Katra.
Ma'am, basically it is Hari Parbat. Now I'm answering that for everyone. It's Hari Parbat.
Hari.
Hari Parbat, yes.
Okay.
Okay. And does somebody want to answer that which is the state where Durga Ma is dressed up in different attires every day?
Yes.
West Bengal.
Shantala ma'am had answered Gujarat for that, but that's not the correct answer.
West Bengal.
Kolkata.
No.
Yeah, West Bengal.
Maharashtra,
Kolhapur.
No.
Orissa.
It's Andhra Pradesh.
My God.
कितने फेंका फेंकी कर रहे थे चंचला? लग ही जाता है कहीं ना कहीं।
Now, does anybody wants to take an attempt for second largest temple?
Chhatarpur.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct, ma'am.
कौन
Which
सा?
one?
Okay, which is the largest one then?
Madam,
Parul, which is the largest one?
Ma'am,
Kushmanda, I think. No,
Yes.
sorry. के से ही है कोई तो फर्स्ट वाला.
कामाख्या
नहीं नहीं नहीं
नहीं कामाख्या तो वहाँ थोड़ी है, साउथ में है.
नहीं,
कामाख्या
कामाख्या
is
तो
in
इधर
south.
है ना, असम में.
South-
असम में
south
मैम,
में है.
कामाख्या टेम्पल.
हाँ,
नो मैम, असम में.
आसाम में है.
तो पारुल बता ना कौन सा है लार्जेस्ट टेम्पल.
मैं अभी गूगल करके बताती हूँ.
Oh my God! यदि पारुल को एग्जामिनर को यदि गूगल करना है तो स्टूडेंट्स आर एब्सोल्युटली
Second largest was my question.
yeah, we are fine
You
with
were
that.
asking me
Chancellor,
something
you
out
are
of syllabus.
6 out of 9. एक तो गया क्वेश्चन. चलो.
Okay. और calendar is the lunar calendar actually.
lunar.
Lunar.
Lunar calendar. It's not the Hindu
Okay.
calendar which determines the Navratri ka thing. It's the lunar calendar according to which the dates are decided.
तो हिंदू तो lunar इस पे है ना डिपेंड. हिंदू कैलेंडर
calendar ही हुआ ना?
Lunar calendar, but I wanted lunar calendar.
वर्ड. अच्छा.
wanted the word lunar calendar.
Yes. Like a perfect examiner, I wanted to hear that particular term.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I was very strict today.
Okay, good.
Anyways, the last question was, what is the significance of Durga Puja? That is what I had asked. Does anybody of you wants to take go on this? Anyone?
Shakti worship.
No, I mean, some goddess won over some evil.
Mahishasur.
Yes.
Mahishasur
Mardini.
Yes, yes,
Mahishasur Mardini.
Mahishasur.
yes, exactly. But that is what I wanted to hear. Shantala ma'am gave her very innovative feminism and all.
अच्छा, वो सेवेंथ वाला आंसर बता ना पारुल. सेवेंथ वाला, पहले 3 दिन which goddesses
Durga, no?
worship.
मेरा सेशन शुरू है ना,
Durga,
JS का
right?
करती हूँ फिर. I think according to the it is Jagdamba, Mahalakshmi and Mahasaraswati. Day 1, day 2 and day 3. That is how the chapters are.
The first 3 are Durga.
Yes,
The
Durga.
next 3 are, I think, एक second. Durga is the first. Yeah. Durga, then Lakshmi, and then Saraswati.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Saraswati,
one.
okay.
That's how it is.
Simplified version.
Yes. So that's the end of the quiz. I know it was a little tough, but then I had to put in some questions which were tough also, so that we enhance our knowledge about goddesses.
Yes.
We are reading a lot of medicine.
Good job, Parul. well done.
Very interesting. Very interesting quiz.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I know it was very difficult. I myself felt the same, but then I thought it's okay. Kuch to karna padega.
You did great homework.
Yeah.
This was very informative actually.
Yes. Very,
And your
very.
That was the
research.
whole purpose of today's quiz, that we come to know about a lot of things. We play a lot of Garba and Dandiya, but let us just know a little bit about all the goddesses and the
Good.
female power which we keep talking about.
Very good.
Thank you everyone for.
Arul, please post me the questions. I haven't attended anything.
Who is asking?
Alka.
Alka. Parul,
Oh, yes, ma'am. Definitely, I'll just post the question.
Not
Parul,
only
वो
questions
questions
with
group पर
answers.
डाल दो.
Parul, with answers.
Yes, ma'am. With answers.
नहीं.
E के साथ.
फिर से आंसर ढूंढने की कोशिश करो सब लोग. पर वो क्वेश्चंस पारुल ऑफिशियल अपडेट पर डाल दो.
डाल देती हूँ मैम. अभी डाल देती हूँ.
हाँ, that would be great.
मजा आया पारुल ला सबको.
ढूंढो.
बहुत ही.
Thank
Very
you so
nice.
much.
Very
For
nice.
being such a sport, each one of you. And tomorrow it would be much more fun. It's not more of an information. It's not going to be tough. It's a bingo game.